holograms, real estate, dual agency, mortgage brokering. What is the future of the mortgage industry? What's the future of housing? Today's episode, not only are we going to talk about all of that, I make no promises as to where we won't take this conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children 18 plus, you are tuned in to the Loan Officer Podcast with me, Dustin Owen, and a very special guest. He is here to pimp out his upcoming mortgage conference, MortgageCon in Orlando, Florida. This dude is originally from Connecticut. Today, he hails from Central Florida. He's a Yankees fan. He dreams of playing in the World Series of Poker when he's not at work building out his mortgage Mpire. You can find him playing with his kids. He is the founder and the president of Mpire Financial. He is my new friend, John Motowidlak. Moto, welcome to the Loan Officer Podcast.
What's up, Dio? What's happening?
Did I get all that?
You got all of that.
All of that. Are you
bit.
founder and CEO? I didn't want to throw any shade at your other partners or your brother, but what is your official title?
CEO, Captain of Experience and Opportunity.
Captain of Experience and Opportunity. Yes. So for those that don't know, so Mpire Financial is a national mortgage brokerage.
Yes, sir.
Right? You're headquartered in Orlando, Florida, which is what you and I call home.
That's right.
You're coming up on your 4-year anniversary, right? This May will be 4 years.
It'll be 4 years. Yep.
But you already have over 200 originators. You're physically in 20 states. You're licensed in 38 states. And if memory and MMI serves me correctly, you all will fund right over $600 million this year.
That's right. Just about that number. Yeah.
Just about that number, which puts you on pace for that elusive billion-dollar number.
I want that B.
Yeah. A couple things go your way, which we were talking about off camera. Mm-hmm. A couple things go in your way. I can't wait to figure out exactly where we take today's conversation, because I prepped it with holograms.
Yeah.
We talked about being the future of mortgage lending.
That was cool.
We're going to dive into dual agency. You are a huge proponent of the LOpreneur. Yes. Right? That is you teaching brokers and originators how to be their own entrepreneur.
Correct.
I want to talk about MortgageCon, because MortgageCon to me is it's the future of mortgage conferences. You're doing your second MortgageCon. Your first one was a year ago, so your second one is going to come up in February.
That's right.
It's in Orlando, Florida. Most people, I will tell you this, as a lifelong resident, Orlando in February is probably the ideal time you ever would want to visit the Sunshine State. And we're going to talk about life in general and how you got into the mortgage industry.
Let's do it.
So before we do that, because that's a lot, and people are like, okay, Dio, get right into it. We're going to get right into it. I promised my team this.
Yes.
So we have never done this before. Black Friday through Cyber Monday only. This is only for 50. We only have 50 people that can take advantage of this. We are giving $1,000 off our annual coaching membership. Right? So literally, this thing is already priced dirt cheap. It's the biggest value in the industry because we're giving you 8 live coaching calls a month, every single month for 12 months, plus so much more. I won't bore you with the details. Just know this. If you ever thought about hiring a business coach or signing up for sales training and you are a mortgage broker or mortgage loan originator, check out the TLOP MLL coaching community. We're giving $1,000 off, but it's Black Friday through Cyber Monday. There will be a link in the YouTube channel. You can also go to our website, tloponline.com, TLOPonline.com, and you can get all the details. But again, it's only for the first 50 who sign up. This is normally $2,500. We're dropping it down to $1,500. And I will tell you this, at $2,500, it was still at a bargain. This has been valued by a third-party appraiser as a $5,000 value. So think about that, a $5,000 value that we were already giving away for $2,500. We're now giving $1,000 off, and it's for one reason and one reason only, and this is what you and I are going to talk about. We know how freaking hard it's been in 2024. We know people have been grinding, they've been surviving, they've been enduring. This is our way of saying congratulations.
You made it.
You made it. Because what do you expect 2025 to be, John?
I think that everyone is getting over the year of getting adjusted to what our atmosphere is, right? It's a high rate environment. We're past the election, all the chaos from that. So people are settling into what things are going to be. I think you're going to see people kind of set the tone of a thriving market again. I think people have adjusted to the new marketing techniques, kind of gotten off the ground running in this transition period. I think 2025 is a building year.
Yeah, I think the word you used to me was pop off.
Pop.
Yeah, it's going to pop.
Bang.
2025 is going to be a pop off year. The question is, have you done what you need to do
Correct.
to put yourself in position to take full advantage?
It starts now.
Oh, it starts now. I look back, the money we made in 2020 and 2021, the reason why I don't feel bad about all that money I made is because I knew I put in the work in 2009
That's right.
to 2013. Like, that's when I started building that foundation so I could put myself in a position.
Yeah.
These men and women who have been enduring the back half of 22, all of 23, all of 24 have put themselves in a position to, quote unquote, pop off. But rarely do we go at it alone. We need support. We need mentors. We need coaches.
Accountability.
Yeah. And accountability. We offer accountability through our blueprint. Yeah. So that's the Black Friday through Cyber Monday special. And just because I love doing things for free, in December, I will be hosting free business planning for all originators who tune in. All you have to do is sign up for our newsletter, and you'll be eligible to be invited to my free, it's a live session, business coaching for 2025. You sign up for the newsletter by going to our website, tloponline.com, and then just sign up for the newsletter. And then by doing so, you will be invited to be a part of my live free business coaching session. So I want to talk about you and your money-making endeavors. How did you get into the mortgage industry? I know you've been in for 17 years, but what were you doing prior, and then what attracted you to the mortgage industry?
Yeah, so I was just talking to John.
The other John. JC.
John number
Not
one.
Mo-
I'm John number two.
You are John 2. He is John 1.
I did a brief stint at, believe it or not, ESPN.
No.
That was fun. Back in Bristol, Connecticut, I was the box score guy. So if you see that ticker on the bottom line with all the scores, that was me.
Like, you were just like following what was going on, and you'd have to type it in there?
It was wild. It was back when TiVo had just come out. So you would literally pause the TV, you'd say Jones rushed out of bounds to the 34-yard line, and it would update box score live on the website and the TV, and you'd track everything. It was wild. Just watching games to the very minute detail. And it was fun. It was fun while it lasted.
You were a young guy, early 20s, first career job.
I must have been 20. I remember celebrating my 21st birthday and coming in really hungover. That's the only way I remember it.
That's how you
probably
know how
why I
old
got
you
fired
were.
and didn't work there anymore. But from that point, I went to an annuity call center. It was the worst job of my life. I took 100 phone calls a day from New York stockbrokers and the elderly wanting to know about their annuities. And
how long did you do that for?
9 months.
Okay.
Honestly, I couldn't take it. I left half-baked style. I stood up. I said, F you, I'm out of here. And they said, you'll never be able to come back. And I said, okay.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
And my cousin rescued me to Bank of America to start processing mortgage loans.
Was this still in Connecticut, or were you living down in Florida at the time?
This was in Farmington, Connecticut, right next to the 50 Cent house.
Okay.
Yeah. So I worked at Bank of America. I did everything: underwriting, training, managing, quality control underwriting. Moved my way. You approve enough of these loans that the loan officer clearly had no idea what they were doing. And then it got to the point where I would see the checks that they were making from all this. I was like, fuck, I could do this. I can write some mortgages. So I made the transition to sales. Again, I quit before I even took the test. Luckily passed because I'm a terrible test taker. So that was a gamble. But I started with actually FBC Mortgage. I lived in Connecticut, but FBC Mortgage here in Orlando is where I started.
No way.
Yeah. So it was kind of crazy. I worked out of a branch in Cape Cod up there.
Okay.
And got my feet wet, learned what I was doing, naturally evolved, went to Loan Depot, found the importance of solid technology within your business, learned the broker world at Nexa Mortgage.
Okay.
And then fulfilled my lifelong dream of opening my own company.
Yeah. So you opened your own company with your brother, right?
Yeah. So I was, not to cut them out before, my brother, Joe Motowidlak, Norm Frascona. It started with 3 of us.
Okay.
I basically started building this thing on spreadsheets, just kind of going over our structure. Norm joined alongside. My brother ran the operations, everything that I would never want to do. He did and did it excellently. We started from 3 people in May of 2021. We have over 200 employees now. And it's been a journey, man.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
And it truly is about the journey, right? It's not about the destination. It truly is about the journey. But I love your story, just getting to learn it. Because if I were to recap real quick, I'm like, okay, this is a guy who started in ops. So it wasn't beneath you to start in ops. But as you learned the industry from an operational standpoint, you start recognizing, well, I could do the sales side too. Maybe not call center sales, slinging annuities to old people and stockbrokers in Manhattan, but you could do the sales side. So you took a leap of faith. You bet on yourself because you had to leave the bank to go and work for an independent mortgage banker. You did that until you went to another mortgage company. That mortgage company taught you something, which was the necessity for cutting edge technology. After spending 2 years there, you're like, I want to go work in the broker world. So I think you were like one of the first originators, the first mortgage brokers to actually join on to Nexa.
I was one of the early ones, yeah.
Yep, and I'm sure you learned some things there that you liked a lot. You probably learned some things that you would do different if you owned your own shop. And at that point, you had the confidence and maybe even the experience to say, you know what, I'm going to go open my own shop. Out of curiosity, do you remember like what type of units and volume were you funding? Because I'm assuming you were an originator at FBC, an originator at Loan Depot, an originator at Nexa. You opened up Mpire Financial. You were probably still originating.
I was.
Okay. Prior to you going over to your own Mpire, do you have an idea what you were doing units and volume?
I was averaging around 30 to 40 million per year. Right around 70 to 90 units. I did pretty good sized loan amounts.
Yep. Where was the bulk of your business? Were you purchasing leads? Were you really big on online in terms of like a website and SEO? Or was it like old fashioned networking with the realtors and builders in your local market?
I will be honest. There was 2 things that built my business that fed 80% of everywhere that I got loans from. It was my past database. I really invested into the relationships with my clients. I made sure that I wanted them to know I want everyone you know. So I would get 40% of all my business from repeat customers. I also, number 2, I work with a lot of investors.
Okay.
Investors never sleep. They're always looking for that next project. I have at least 7 to 9 BRRRR clients that are closing 6+ deals per year. They'll want that decrepit property. They'll want the hard money loan to go fix it up. They'll want to cash it out on the new value, and then they'll want to rate and term it to get it nice and affordable. And all that is so they can rinse, wash, repeat. And they don't care about the interest rate. It's not emotional to them. They don't worry about an inspection. They're not worrying about their first time home buying experience, which is great if you are. But I love working with the savvy investor that's doing this to build wealth.
Did you intentionally go after investors, or was that something the defense gave you so you leaned into it?
It was almost like a natural occurrence. All investors hang out with groups of investors. So I had this one experience. I remember it had to be 4 or 5 years ago. And I just had this great experience breaking down the numbers for this man acquiring really his first house in his portfolio.
Okay.
So he bought a home up in Destin. It was $500K. It was falling apart. I gave him really my first hard money loan to fix it up and turn it into like an 11-unit Airbnb on the beach in Destin.
Wow.
And then he's like, holy shit, the value now is this. I have this much equity. He's like, I want to do this again. So hard money loans are 12 months, so it's guaranteed you have to refi. So he's like, let's cash it out. Let me go take the $800K I just got in equity in this property, and let's go buy another house in Destin. And then, typically when we're cashing out, it's not your most affordable. And then if you play the cards right, the rate market drops a bit, and then you get the rate in term. So you're looking at 3 deals per year on each property for these investors.
Wow. So you're doing the hard money loan that allows them to purchase it, fix it up. Then you're going to do the long-term financing and maybe allow them to pull some cash out. That's part of the BRRRR model. We've done some episodes on BRRRR. And then you're saying there's even a good chance that if rates drop, they would want to pay off that long-term loan with another long-term loan, but this one's going to be at a cheaper interest rate.
Better cash flow.
That's going to help them get better cash flow. So you found one investor, birds of a feather flock together, and built a good enough relationship with him that you're like, who else do you know that's looking to do this or that is doing this so I can help them achieve these same long-term wealth building goals?
Correct. And then I changed my mindset from I'm a transactional loan officer to I'm an advisor. So I would tell them, I'm going to advise you on your portfolio. I started making really fancy dancy spreadsheets that would kind of give all the information. Here's your current loan. Here's where it's at. Here's what it could be. Here's your projected equity. And I would just paint a picture of here's your investor portfolio. Here's all your opportunity. Are you looking to do anything? And I would constantly call twice a year, maybe quarterly, to the more active people. And I'd say, here's where the market is. Here's where you are. Here's your potential. You're in a good spot. Even the best thing that they like to hear, don't do anything. We're in a good spot. It instills a trust in you that you're not just trying to solicit a transaction every time you want a paycheck. You're actually looking out for their best interest. So when I started doing that, they told friends, and then friends liked it. And I've worked with realtors, and it's great. I couldn't escape that dynamic of you work for the realtor. As much as I say, oh, we're partners.
Yeah, you're a vendor.
We're fucking not. Yeah.
You're a vendor. You are a vendor. At
Yeah.
the end of the day, you are a vendor. The minute you quit showing up with coffee, donuts, answering your phone call Sunday at 9:00 at night,
They'll flip on you in a second.
all of a sudden the invites to go play ultimate frisbee or to go on the company cruise, that they dissipate.
Yeah.
Right. The text on your birthday, like, oh, you have a birthday still? I'm like, yeah, I still have a birthday. You quit getting them. That may be a little bit of firsthand experience talking. Before we shift a little bit, because I'm going to get into holograms here in a second. Okay, we're going to talk dual agency here in a second. But before we do, you mentioned something that I think a lot of our core audience would want to know. What are your best two or three tips for getting the most out of your database? Because you said, hey, a big part of my business came from my database, but you have men and women who've been in this industry for just 2 years. Their database may only be 18 to 26 transactions. Is that a big enough database that you can procure leads from? And if so, like what would you tell them if they're not getting 2 or 3 leads from each of those 26 people? What should they be doing that you did that worked for you?
Okay. So for starters, I want to shift my mindset from database to network.
Okay.
Because I truly feel like a database is what you create, not what you have.
Okay.
Right? So I would go to my network, friends, family, cousins, friends, people that I know, people that know my face, and I would start offering my services. And I'd say, most of, really careers can be built in refinance seasons because you interact with so many people, especially 2020, 2021. I would try and offer an abundance of value. So I would do things like give those free mortgage report updates, and I'd give, honest advice about the market. I would try and create opportunity and say, hey, you ever considered building a pool? We live in Florida. It is hot. It would mean you don't have a pool. Oh, you can't afford it. Well, what if I could show you a way where it just increases your mortgage or keeps your mortgage payment the same and you get your dream pool for your kids? So I would try to start offering value and less sales, right? Here's what I can do for you. And if you want it, great. If not, do you know anyone that wants it?
So this was anyone you would interact with. Yeah. Like your database is something you build.
I was telling people at the grocery store. Like,
okay.
Oh, I'm a mortgage broker.
Yeah.
Like it's so easy to work in what you do.
Okay.
I wear my shirts everywhere. What's this? Now I drive the Cybertruck and people are saying, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's conversation started.
Who would win, the Cybertruck or an oak tree?
Oak tree.
Oak tree still wins.
But I'm down to test it out if you are.
I mean, what type of mushrooms we're going to eat first?
Only the best.
Only the best. Okay. Well, then on that occasion, maybe not this year.
Not this year.
Maybe next year.
Yeah. 2026.
26. Yeah, that sounds like a good 26. Let's let someone else beta test that, and then you and I can figure it out. No, I like that. I like what you just said, right? Because for me, and I sometimes will get a little bit too one-track minded. And when I hear database, I'm thinking past clients. I'm thinking about, okay, and we do coach this, but so listen up. I mean, every time you do a pre-qual, you should be asking, who do you know?
Right.
Every time you're calling to say you're clear to close, you should be asking, who do you know?
Right.
Every time that you are making your first payment call because they funded, that's a third time, who do you know? And then obviously with past clients, we 100%, if we're going to be true advisors, should be calling them annually to offer them a free mortgage review, at which point you're fishing for more business from them, but also, hey, by the way, I can do this same exercise for your friends, family, coworkers, and neighbors. It's no sweat off my back. You'd be doing me a favor to let me do this for someone you know, because 7 times out of 10, an annual mortgage review does not lead to more business.
No.
But 3 times out of 10 it does. That means you have to do 10 of them to get 3 more leads. I like those odds. But I loved what you said, John, because you're like, no, Dio, quit thinking so granular. Okay, when you're waiting for the pub sub line and you're talking to that person, yes, in small talk. When you're at that holiday party, small talk. When you're at the neighborhood gathering, small talk.
Did you ever read Money in the Streets by Barry Habib?
I did read Money in the Streets by Barry Habib. Yes. I actually read it like Barry was coming on the show.
Yeah.
This was one of the early years of T-Lop. And Barry's come on the show, and I made sure I read it before he came on. But yeah, is that where you didn't pull it from there. You were already doing it before.
I was doing it, but I aligned a lot with what he was saying. There's opportunity everywhere. And he'll be at MortgageCon, by the way. I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, he's I was a little bit worried just, from his health that he's been battling, but
apparently he's doing great.
Yeah, it looks like he's doing great. I will look forward to seeing him at MortgageCon. Let's just talk about that real quick. Okay, cuz this is a great pop-off point, right? 2025 is going to pop off. You see how I did that? Because our next topic is going to be holograms.
Let's do it.
And dual agency.
My favorite.
Okay, because this dude just bought a hologram machine. Okay, just wait till you hear about it. Because I was like, WTF, you can buy one of those, but you can, and Moto owns one. Okay, walk me through that lineup that you're putting together for MortgageCon and the actual dates. By the way, if you go to our website, I will have and already do have the actual dates because we are an official sponsor. And yours truly will be speaking. I'll be one of the speakers. And I think we're trying to figure out how we can podcast from MortgageCon.
That'd be really cool.
So you have Barry Habib. You have Chris Vincent. Okay. We have Jonathan Haddad from AIM.
Correct.
Who else you got?
We have Sean Kaplan. I'm a really big Sean Kaplan fan. I think that the stuff he puts out is just awesome.
I don't know Sean that well, but I know Sean just went to go coach for my buddy Amir. And obviously I know Amir very well. So you have Sean Kaplan.
Kyle Draper will be there.
Oh, love me some Kyle Draper. Okay.
Katie Sweeney. Who else? Rebecca Richardson. I'm going to draw a huge mind blank. Desmond from UWM. There's
okay. And then I think you have Justin Lopatin's coming in.
Justin Lopatin's coming.
Okay.
Man.
Is it Lopatin or Lopatin?
I don't know. Justin L. My dude.
Dude, Justin's going to absolutely just light my ass up because I just butchered his last name, but it's
sorry,
all right.
bro.
We actually work together now.
Yeah, that's great.
If you have a last name that's harder to pronounce than Owen, just know I will butcher it. FYI.
Yeah. Man, I'm drawing a blank. There's so many cool people. MortgageCon2025.com.
Okay, so MortgageCon2025.com.
Yeah.
So there you go.
There's your lineup.
There's your lineup. Those are the details. Where are you sitting in terms of availability? At what point do you expect it to sell out? Like, is this a Wednesday through Friday deal?
It is February 4th through the 7th. We are on the verge of selling out, which is really cool.
That's really freaking awesome.
It's an event, right? It's in Universal Studios, so there's limited tickets. We've got 6 hotel rooms at the discounted rate. Otherwise, if you don't buy the hotel, it's all for yourself. And then there's about 80 tickets left to the actual event.
Okay.
So it's this year is going to be an intimate event. And before we sign off, I'll give a little teaser for next year because it's already signed, sealed, delivered.
Is it still going to be in Orlando?
It's still going to be in Orlando.
Still at Universal?
Still at Universal.
Okay, because y'all, this is what I love about it. It has a total theme park theme, right, to the entire event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just the uniqueness about it is, Dustin, you've done so many events, right? More or less, most of them are the same. It's your trade show. It's geared. It was built in the 90s. So now that we've evolved, I am a man with intense ADD. I don't care if you are Michael Jackson putting up a performance of your life on stage. I'm going to drift on my phone, go make a phone call 30 minutes in no matter what. So we made it to where it was more of a digestible format, fast and hard information, right? Give me all your best stuff in a matter of 25, 30 minutes. That way it's digestible. People can actually retain what you're doing, where if it's 2 hours long, I might take away a few things, but I can actually focus on what you're saying on the information for 25 minutes, get my little 5 or 10 minute break, next guy, right? So it's going to be a hard, fast lineup. There's breaks, there's lunches, everything in between, so you're not burnt out. But each day is about 5 hours of speaking.
Okay.
So it's a 2 days of speaking event inside the actual theme park. They escort you right through all the rides and into a sound stage. We have the Hard Rock rented out, so the hotel is a Hard Rock. We have private events in City Walk, so we actually rent it out there. And it's just going to be a blast.
Dude, I can't wait. I can't wait. In fact, I'm going to stay the night. I mean, I only live 30 minutes away. I think I'm going to actually stay the night just so we can,
Last year, the best part was after everything was done, all 100 something people just went to the bar or at the restaurant. And it was just great to meet everybody. And it's a really fun time. It's themed. There's a storyline. We have Cindiana loans. So just like Indiana Jones, this is Cindiana loans going to find
I like how you did that.
The idol of mortgage. So it's basically everyone, including yourself, will be part of a storyline. The entire soundstage will be like you're inside the jungle. And dude, it's just going to be cool. Like you're just going to get different aspects of people that have known the way, gone the way, and show the way, go the way, know the way, and really just absorb.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. February, Orlando, Florida, MortgageCon 2025. Go to MortgageCon 2025 for more details.
Yeah. And I'll drop it now. Next year, we actually rented out Harry Potter World.
No way.
So private event in Harry Potter World will be MortgageCon 26.
And I'm assuming those that attend 2025 will have the first right of refusal for 2026.
Oh, yeah. They'll be
the
hooked.
minute you mentioned, look, I'm not even a Harry Potter fan. I love Harry Potter World.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
the theme, it's like crack. You know, you'll love it.
All right, very cool. All right, so let's get into the next phase of our hangout today. Holograms.
Yes.
You just bought a hologram machine. Walk me through this.
Yeah.
WTF.
So it was a crazy vision, dead sober, but it was a crazy vision. I remember...
maybe that was what was different about your day.
That's right.
That was what was different about your days. You were dead sober.
I remember when I got into mortgage, I had a very distinct vision of what life would be like. I'd picture networking events, golfing, basically having the time of my life out and about traveling, right? Because the beautiful thing about loan origination, and this was back in 2007, 2008, there weren't too many remote jobs.
No.
Right? It's really a newer thing in the past 5, 8, 10 years. I was in love with the fact that I could basically make my own schedule, do what I want. I actually worked an entire month in Spain at one point, and nobody even knew. And to me, that was the coolest way to just make a great living was I'm literally on a beach in Spain. I'm talking to clients like they have no idea I'm out here, and business as usual. And so fast forward to Hologram. My vision was, well, realtors don't have that experience, at least for the most part. 90% of your realtors have to physically go around on their weekend, show all these houses. They have to host these open houses. It can be exhausting and burn out. If you give up your whole Sunday, right, taking away from your family, and you get one person, I was like, I don't know if I would ever do that. How can I make it just as cool as being an LO? How can I get that stigma that, people see the dream life of a realtor, and it's not always like that. Same with a loan officer, but it's not always like that. It's a lot of grinding. It's a lot of denial, rejection. Yes. It's a lot of
work without a paycheck.
Dang.
Yes.
It's so defeating. So my vision was to start creating a division of Mpire that held a duly licensed, and we'll get into this, a duly licensed role where it was home acquiring experts. You were licensed and an expert in the home loan, and you had all the tools necessary to go sell a house and have that expertise as well. Now, where the hologram came in was the idea of removing the real estate agent from having to attend that open house and go to a fully remote mentality atmosphere without taking away the ability to show that house. So I partnered with a company called Proto to basically create a new real estate company. And the idea around it is the hologram is supposed to more or less replace you physically being in the house.
So if I'm envisioning this, my wife and I are going to want to go see an open house on a Sunday because it's in a neighborhood that we've always desired living in. And I'm going to go there, and more than likely that house has a Ring camera.
Correct.
And they probably have cameras throughout their house.
Exactly.
Because there's a safety component. And when I go in, I am greeted by you.
Yeah.
By John Motowidlak. But it's not you.
It's not me.
It's still a 6 foot, 200-pound dude, handsome dude, right, with a scruffy beard and his Mpire hat on. And you are going to walk around the house with me and show me the house.
Correct.
Possibly even answer some of my most basic questions.
Correct.
But it's not you.
Not me at all.
It's your likeness as a hologram.
Yes.
And the technology, I mean, I know the AI technology is out there, so you can upload all the data you need to have the robot answer. But this is now a AI widget with an actual like hologram of you.
Yeah,
Dude, that's sick.
My dream to backpedal to MortgageCon, my dream is to have the hologram on the stage at MortgageCon and I walk out and talk to myself. That's what I want to do, is have a conversation with my AI self when everyone the entire time thought it was just me. That's my little secret that I want to try and do.
Wait, by 2025?
A couple months from now, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Dad, you'd be tripping balls. Like, people are like, whoa, wait a minute. This is daytime, right? Still?
Yeah. But
no way. That's really cool. So this is where you think, right? Because you like me and you're younger than I am, but like I look at us as we represent the future of mortgage lending, right? Kaplan, right? He represents the future of mortgage lending. Amir, future of mortgage lending. Probably the bulk of the people that you're going to be there. Heck, you said Barry's going to be there, but Dan Habib, future
Dan's
of mortgage lending, right? Like the future is, and it's just because we are the next generation. It's our turn to grab the torch and run with it before it's ultimately going to be our turn to pass it.
Yes.
And when we go to pass it, did we leave this industry better than we found it? I know with what I do, I probably have a 10-year shelf life, right? You probably have a 15 or 20-year shelf life.
Hopefully, yeah.
But in 10 years, I'll start to be that pale, male, and stale dude.
Yeah.
Now I'm just pale and male. I can't help that. I've tried throughout the years, but it's kind of stuck with me.
Yeah.
But I cannot be stale. That's cool as shit, the hologram. And I do like the fact, and this is probably for a whole nother episode, you all at Mpire Financial, you all are trying to solve for the dual agency.
Yes.
Were you trying to do this pre-NAR commission settlement, or did the NAR commission settlement really like put kerosene on that already lit fire?
I'd say it was more kerosene on the lit fire. I've always been obsessed with trying to give people all the functionality of doing whatever they want. You want to go be a kick-ass loan originator? Here's all the tools. Here's the keys to the car. Go take a spin. Now I guess I don't want to say an industry suffering, but if there's areas where there's struggle, especially with this NAR lawsuit, to me, I saw so many of my referral partners burnt out. And it's the whole, like, I just gave up my whole damn weekend. I just did this, my kids, my family. I'm like, well, what if I could solve that problem? What if I can give you your lifestyle back? What if I can create a lifestyle for you that lets you have fun and enjoy it? And it's not work. It's just you living, and you're going and living your life and making great money and having a career and not having to be chained.
Because the thought is, and by the way, what do you coin that role? Because you use a really cool term. You just used it about 3 minutes ago. What do you call that dual agent? You call it a
home acquiring expert.
Home acquiring expert. So I love this because, like, as we sit here and you get my little pea brain moving, that I'm like, wait a minute. So I could theoretically be a licensed realtor. I could go out, secure a listing. I could then promote and advertise and market that listing for sale. I could leverage technology to where I don't have to physically be at that listing at nights and weekends if I had a hologram, if I was leveraging AI and maybe some bot technology.
Smart glasses and all that stuff.
Whoa, we got to talk about smart glasses.
Yeah.
Smart glasses and all of that technology.
That's part of it.
Yeah. But more importantly, if I wanted to also help my seller purchase their next home, I could do so.
Correct.
Like I could do so, and I could do their loan, because maybe this is fast forwarding. Maybe I'll be less needed as a buyer's agent. I'm not in that camp, just FYI. I don't want any hate mail. I'm not in that camp. I like to be represented in all cases. Like if I'm going to traffic court, I want to have a damn attorney there. But theoretically, that could be the future. And you're saying, look, if that could be, I want to be on the forefront of it.
That's right.
What would you use the glasses for in this scenario, right? If I'm still painting this picture, what are those glasses used for?
Okay, so I'll paint the entire picture of the consumer experience, right? But you said it perfectly. Security is a big thing in both aspects. Taking the realtor out of the home, you stop hearing those horror stories of when realtors get hurt. Putting security on the people coming in the home up front with the Ring cameras and the authentication process and whatnot. Now we have a safe environment, right? The only person in the home is you, the consumer.
The consumer with the hologram.
With the hologram.
Yep, with the hologram.
So imagine you walk through the door to your table. There's a row of glasses and it says, try me on. You put them on. And now you're able to almost have a guided tour. I can see what you see. I can talk to you. And now on your glasses, I can actually display information as you're walking through the house.
Now, are you doing this or is AI doing this?
This is basically AI because we're able to upload the statistics of the house. We're able to connect the MLS. And then you're able to take the software and start saying, on this floor plan, this is this room, this is that room. You can take the pictures and all that. So the software can do amazing things. And it starts saying like, okay, well, the price at home is listed at this. I can show the mortgage prices for up there. You can get a house for this down payment, this down payment, this down payment. This seller is offering concessions, almost like all the data right there. And then as you're touring, you have me talking through, so that way you can be casual. You don't have the awkwardness of having someone walk around with your family as you're trying to have a moment. And I don't have to be there, but I could still give you all the information you need, right? Like, what else do you really want? You want my presence there? You want to hang out? Typically, no. You want to get in, get out.
That is so cool. Like, and I love that there's people like you out in our industry thinking that far in advance. Because that's not me. I mean, you're a technology guy. Were you always a technology guy?
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
You hear so much that technology is the devil. Like it's just, we're evolving too fast, and they may be right, but I also am going to leverage that technology because I'm not going to be left in the dust, right?
Correct. You can't put it back in the box.
Yeah. There's going to be a time where the people who resist the change will die off. In all honesty, if people stopped when they made the wheel, if they said, fuck it, I'm going to walk, great, I'm going to roll down this hill and I'm going to go get all the food that you're coming to get. So I'm going to leverage technology to the best of my ability while it's out, and it's not going away.
Yep. No, because I remember you and I chatting offline, and you talked about your various experiences before you opened up Mpire. And the one thing that you said, and I've heard from others about Loan Depots, oh my God, the technology.
Yeah.
Right. Oh my God, the technology. Now people may say other things, whether they're highlights or whether they're lowlights is irrelevant. But the one thing most people can agree upon, and your journey showed you that technology has a huge role in what we do for a living.
It does.
So what's some of the technology that you're embracing right now over at Mpire?
So we've kind of gone all into building a lot of our own.
Okay. Now building your own LOS and POS, or are you still buying that from the Arrives and the Encompasses of the world?
I love Arrive.
Okay.
So me and Harish have a great relationship. It's basically like our driving engine. So we're so happy with Arrive. The beautiful thing is the ability to have Arrive open up their hood and be kind of that engine that drives all of our other platforms. Arrive has so much information. It has everything as far as your pipeline, how they applied, your closings, how long it took, everything, the rates, AUS. We wanted to create stuff that plugged into that to tell you a story, help create and manage your career easier, your communication more efficiency. We love our virtual office. We have this virtual office where you can literally click and pop in different people's rooms, and there's like a theater where you can give real life like virtual presentations. It's the coolest thing. It makes it feel like there's 200 people scattered all over the country, but you're really like, oh, I could see your face. You're in the office today.
Okay.
So little things like that. We've organized our lenders, and really technology boils down to organization and efficiency.
I was going to say, you are using technology, the way that I hear you explain it, to increase your broker experience.
Yeah.
Like we talk a lot about the borrower experience, which is huge for what we do for a living, but you're like, no, but the actual men and women who are the originators, who are coming to work, whether you go work for a bank, an IMB, a broker, et cetera, what's your experience like? What's your support level? You all are building your own technology to make that experience one in which it's a more inclusive experience.
Yeah, I will say my 100% focus is on the LO being my customer. I will then trust the LO to have that entrepreneurial spirit and take care of the client great. I want to hire a very specific person.
Who is your ideal? Like if you sat down and said, this person is my ideal, what is it that you're looking for?
Somebody that wants control over their own business.
So you want an entrepreneur.
I want an entrepreneur.
Like that you breathe, live, preach being an entrepreneur.
I want warriors, and I want to give them the sharpest weapons.
Okay.
Yeah. That's basic. And I mentioned that we were trying to open up that university, and that will be a whole different division, but we are made for the people that want to go to the next level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But someone who already has that entrepreneurial spirit, who understands there's a level of resourcefulness that's required.
Correct.
But at the same time, you shouldn't have to go at it alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, your approach to your business, right, and the branches that you're building out, I think has been our approach to coaching.
Right.
Right. It's very much like, look, I can't do it for you.
Yeah.
I can't make you want it. But if you want it and you're committed, oh, I've built out a platform that all you have to do is plug into what we offer, do what we say, and sometimes say what we say,
Right.
and you too will have success. You're doing the same exact thing. You're like, look, I can't hold your hand. You have to want it. You have to have the drive. But if you want to have the drive, I will give you all the tools that you need so you're not guessing. And it's obviously worked out well for you. I mean, in less than 4 years, 20 states, $600+ million in volume. I mean, that's pretty badass.
Yeah, it's really popped.
That's pretty
it's really
badass.
popped off.
Yes,
right in the past 2 years.
Yeah, no, that is super cool. All right, so I promised people talking about being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Your story, holograms, the future, MortgageCon. We threw out the shameless plug for the Black Friday sale, and we threw out the shameless plug for the Cyber Monday sale. Is there anything that we're missing before we put a bow on today's episode? Besides, hey, if I want to figure out more about who's this John Moto guy that they're all talking about, what is this Mpire Financial? How do I follow him? Was there anything else that you and I had committed to delivering to the audience today?
Committed to, if there's anything we talked about, one conversation we had was more so leadership, right? And the aspect of staying firm in devastating times in our industry, and how sometimes there's so much growth on the opposite end of all the trials that you go through in this industry, and the people that have made it through 2023 and 2024 and that are maybe discouraged or just struggling to feel like, is this really the right move I made? I could see, I saw so many people come in 2021 after seeing all the loan officers get rich and say, I want to do this. And then there's like culture shock. They got splashed with cold water. Hold on. Everything that you're doing, it will pay off. Mortgage is a compounding effect. If you keep doing the activities and you keep staying true to the hard work, it does pay off. It's a farming system. It's not immediate gratification. So if you're one of those people that felt like throwing in the towel, give it one more day, and you'll be amazed at kind of what can transpire when you are resilient in this business.
I love that. And no truer words have been spoken. So let's do this. Let's have a little fun real quick.
Let's do it.
All right. Give me one fun fact about John Motowidlak that not many other people know.
Ooh, a fun fact.
Yeah, fun fact. Something just like really quirky or crazy about you, your experiences in life. Like, I learned that you worked for a month in Spain. I thought that was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was kind of G-rated, pretty basic. Anything cool? Ever swam with sharks, jumped out of an airplane?
I was going to say, I'll tell you, my biggest fear is sharks, to the point where I won't go. Like dark water here in Florida, I won't go in a lake. Because
lakes don't have sharks, though.
I know. But the snakes now, dark water. Like I'm just so afraid this thing's going to come up from the bottom and just.
So no triathlons for you.
No.
Well, I'm not going to convince you to go do the next triathlon with me.
I'll tell you my dead serious goal. I'm 37 years old.
Okay.
In 10 years, I want to be a part of bringing a NFL team to Orlando.
No way.
That is my biggest.
Can I jump on that train?
Dude, let's do it.
Can I jump on that train?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Let's get a group. It's how it's done.
Okay, count me in.
Yeah.
I 100% would love to be a part of bringing a NFL team to. Yeah, because your Jets suck. And the Jags are no better.
I thought I could buy the Jets.
and the Jags are no better.
Yeah.
So why not go out? If you know what, if what you want doesn't exist,
make it.
Then build it.
Yeah.
Yeah, build it. How about this? I mean, you're a dad with 3 small ones, but what's some life advice that you wished was taught to you younger, but you had to figure it out on your own? So therefore, you're going to make sure your kids hear that piece of advice.
Okay, one piece of advice, I would say that failure is not the end of a journey. It's a stepping stone to your success. There's so much I've learned through failure that any other lesson I've had in my life. Doing wrong was my best teacher. My first experience as a loan officer, this was a decade ago. Was my first time teaching. Really, I grew up in Connecticut. It was the best real estate brokerage in West Hartford, Connecticut. So it was a wealthy part of Connecticut. And it was my first time speaking. I was all ready. I went and got these cupcakes to pass out to everybody. Somehow I got lost. Showed up 5 minutes late, dripping sweat, like anxiety, because I mentioned to you I don't like public speaking. It's not my forte. It just isn't fun. And this is really my first crack at it in a professional setting. All the cupcakes tipped in the car, so they looked mangled and gross. So I'm showing up there like disgusting cupcakes, dripping in sweat. And I basically had a panic attack up there. Like I couldn't find the words. I was like huffing and puffing, and not a single person gave me a lead. Out of a 20-person room, they were just like, get this guy the hell out of here. And I woke up, I was like, I'm okay. Like, I'm fine. Like, my world didn't end. Everything's totally fine. I can do this again. I can be rejected. I can learn from the mistakes I made. I'll leave 10 minutes earlier. I will get a carrying case for the cupcakes. I will rehearse my speech. But failing like that taught me so much of what to do next time. It's the courage to not just give up when that failure happens. If I could tell my kids any one thing, it's perseverance. Persevering through those struggles builds everything.
I love it, John. I absolutely love it. How do you like people to connect with you? Are you an email guy, a cell phone guy, a LinkedIn guy?
Ooh, there's so many. Email me, John at mpirefy.com. It's MPIREFI.com. If you're interested in MortgageCon, we talked about www.mortgagecon2025.com. If you're considering checking out Mpire, it's joinourempire.com.
Love it.
That's it. You know, if you want to get a hold of me, I'm not a hard guy to find. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram. I'm the goofy guy with a funny last name. I
absolutely love it, John. I so appreciate this relationship, this budding friendship.
Yeah, man.
Look forward to being your business partner in an NFL team by was it 2040?
Let's shoot for the stars. Let's do 2035.
By 2035, but unfortunately, we do have to put a bow on this episode. Yeah. You and I are definitely going to be doing more of these in the future.
Good.
I look forward to seeing you and everyone else at MortgageCon. Mm-hmm. He is Moto, a.k.a. John Motowidlak. I'm Dustin Owen. You have just tuned in to Loan Officer Podcast. That's all the time we have for you today, but we do look forward to catching you on the next episode.